After a long and successful growing season, gardeners have earned a well-deserved break. But before you head indoors to wait out the winter, there's one final task you have to tackle. And it's one of the most overlooked tasks in all of gardening. Many of us take our garden tools for granted, whether we're shoveling compost, digging out new beds, pruning, or planting veg. But we have to make sure that our gardening tools are well taken care of so they can last us multiple seasons. In fact, if you treat your garden tools right, some of them might even last you a lifetime. Cleaning your gardening tools is pretty straightforward. You can spray the dirt off and dry it with a cloth, or to get really tough grime, you can scrub your tools down with some warm, soapy water. These can hang on to a lot of soil, and leaving it on the tools can actually compromise the metal, causing it to rust. And doing your best to remove all grit is a sure way to protect your tools for future use. Now, of course, it's best practice to rinse the soil off of your garden tools anytime you dirty them up. During the season, it's fine to just rinse them off and wipe them dry with a towel. But really getting in there and doing a deep clean is super important ahead of storage. Do this with all your metal tools, using a wire or a bristle brush to make sure that you scrub everything nice and clean. You might even want to go over it a final time with a damp rag to really get into the nooks and crannies, and then use another rag to dry it completely. And be careful when cleaning tools with sharp or pointy edges like pruning shears or a gardening fork. Take your time, safety first. And once you've cleaned all your tools, you're going to want to check any wooden handles for chips or splinters. Should you notice any rough or raised areas, now's the time to fix them. If you have really big divots or splinters, you're going to want to use something more like a medium grain first to sand those down, and then switch to fine grain. That's going to give you a nice, smooth surface. This will help ensure you don't accidentally poke yourself while shoveling, and it provides more comfort as you work by removing the rough spots. Also, make sure that you pop on some protective gear while you're sanding your handles. You definitely don't want to get any wooden splinters in your eyes, and you certainly don't want to breathe any of it in. And while you're at it, now would also be a great time to check out the condition of the metal that you just cleaned off. If you see any rust spots, you might want to start to sand those down a little bit to help mitigate the risk of the rust spreading. And once sanded, now you protect the wood on the handles by applying a thin coat of oil. Linseed oil is probably the most common one that's used, but you can use things like walnut oil or coconut oil, or I'm using grapeseed oil. Once you apply your coat of oil, let it sit on the handle for a good 10 minutes or so, and then wipe it well with a cloth. You might find that your handles could afford another coat or two of oil after the first application. And you may want to bring things inside if it's already chilly outdoors for you, because you want to give the oil a chance to permeate the wood rather than just seizing up and sitting on the outside of the surface. The next task that you'll want to consider when it comes to gardening tool maintenance is sharpening the edges. And not just your cutting tools like your pruning shears or your loppers, but also you're going to want to sharpen your shovels and your spades. Think about it. You're using your shovels to cut out beds and borders, sever roots, or dig up perennials for transplanting. If you're not in the habit of sharpening your digging tools, then you're working against yourself. Sharpened tools will cut more cleanly, and they will lessen the effort that you will have to expend. And just like with kitchen knives, dull means dangerous. Again, make sure you're wearing protective equipment here. You don't want to breathe in any metal shavings, get any in your skin, or get any in your eyes. To sharpen your shovel, secure it to a flat surface, giving the blade some clearance, and then grab a flat file. And starting from one end, apply gentle pressure as you push the file away from you along the shovel's surface. And you don't want to push too hard. Just make sure that you're applying enough pressure so you're making constant contact with the shovel as you glide the file along the edge. Slightly angle the file so you can be sure to wear it down into a sharp edge. You'll do this a couple times, so no need to try to get it all in one fell swoop. Do one complete pass of the shovel's edge and then carefully check the sharpness. We're not looking for razor sharp here. We just want an edge that can easily cut through soil and plants. 2 or 3 passes should do it, and then once you feel good about the sharpness of that side, Flip the shovel over so you can sharpen the other edge. Trying to make sure that you maintain the same angle with the file so you can have even edges on both sides. And there it is, a blunt shovel transformed into an efficient garden slicing machine. And for smaller tools like these hand pruners, you're going to want to use a smaller file for more precision and control, but it's the same principle. When it comes to cutting tools like pruners, shears, and loppers, you'll want to inspect the entire tool and make sure that all the working parts will work. You may find that they've gotten a bit rusty at different connection points so that they don't open and close as freely as you'd like for them to do, or that the blades don't line up super well, so they end up actually crushing your stems instead of cutting them cleanly. And if you come across this issue, it really is worth it to take these tools apart, clean them thoroughly, and then reassemble. Doing this also makes sharpening the blades much easier. It's the same idea as sharpening the larger blades, only you're using a smaller file because you're working with a smaller surface. And remember, safety first. And one final step before putting your tools away for the winter is to apply some oil to the metal surfaces. Just like with the wooden handles, applying some oil will protect the metal surfaces as well. The oil will help keep water from permeating the surface and causing rust. And now that your tools have been cleaned, sharpened, and oiled, they can rest for the winter. And if you have a place to store them off of the floor, that'll keep them nice and protected until you're ready to use them again next season. And now your gardening tools, just like you, are ready and waiting for next spring. It can take a bit of time and effort, but it's well worth it. And if treated with the proper respect, some of your gardening tools might even last you a lifetime. Happy growing.